Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I'd film for you a video about what's in my makeup bag. A few of you have asked if I would do a everyday makeup routine, and I am going to film one of those for you, but for now I thought I would just show you what is inside my makeup bag and show you all the products that I use every day. As you'll see when I'm going through it, there are a few products that I have two of, like that are by different brands. I just switch and change those each day as and when I feel like it. It just depends how my skin's feeling, and I'll explain that as I go along. If you haven't already, I'd love you to click that subscribe button and stick around, and if you want to see what's in my makeup bag, then keep on watching. So this is my makeup bag. It's this gorgeous rose gold and beige colour, and this was just from Home Bargains. It was $3.99, but it is a brilliant size. As you can see, it extends like that, so it's huge and it definitely fits in everything I need, and you'll see I've got quite a lot in here. So I don't actually keep my brushes inside my makeup bag. I like to keep them separate in a little pot on my side, just because I think it's better for them not to be inside a bag. I don't actually know if it makes any difference, but that's how I like to do it. So I'm not going to show those, but most of the brushes I use are by Real Techniques, or I use Wilkinson's brushes. They're quite good. And I have just a little beauty blender from Home Bargains, which was £1.50, and I think it's brilliant. As I was saying earlier, I like to go between a couple of products on some of my things, and my primer is one of those things. If my skin's having quite a dry day, then I use this one, and it is the MUA primer, and it's the Wonder Finishing Primer. This is very, very similar to the L'Oreal primer, the Photo Finish one I think it's called, and it's just this kind of consistency. I don't know if you can see, like the cream consistency, and this melts into your skin like an absolute dream. So if you are having a dry skin day, or if you just suffer from dry skin anyway, it's brilliant for that because it's nice and light, it's nice and fluffy feeling. That's the only way I can really think to describe it, and it just blends in lovely, and I think it's a brilliant base for your foundation, and that's which one I've used today. If I'm having an alright day skincare wise, then I will use this one, which is the NYX HD Studio Primer. This has got like a very, very slight, I don't know if you can see on the excess around there, a very slight blue tinge to it, but it is very dry, so it's quite hard to blend in. It's brilliant and it does make your makeup look amazing, but I can only use this if I'm having a day where my skin already feels lovely and moisturised and healthy. Sticking with primers, I like to use a primer on my eyes just because I think it makes my eyeshadows sit so much nicer and definitely lasts a lot longer. I used to use the Urban Decay primers, and then I ran out and I don't know why I never replaced it, and I started just using concealer to prime my eyes. Then at Christmas, Matt gave me a gift card and I decided to get myself some more of my No. 7 products because I love them and they were on 3 for 2. And I ended up needing one more product, so I thought I'll try theirs out. So it's the No. 7 Stay Perfect Eye Primer. It's this tiny little tube, but honestly you need the smallest amount, and I actually do find this is brilliant, and my eyeshadow's been lasting a lot better since using this. So next up, I go on to use my foundation. Most days I will use the No. 7 Lift and Illuminate foundation. This has got a serum in it, so it's anti-aging as well, and it's so nice to glide on. I used to use Estee Lauder Double Wear, but I found it was just getting a bit too heavy on my skin, and my skin wasn't agreeing with it. This gives the same kind of coverage, but it's a lot lighter to go on, and it's a lot more buildable, I find. If I'm not using the No. 7 one, then I'll be using the Rimmel Lasting Finish foundation. This gives the same kind of finish as the No. 7 one, but it is a tiny bit lighter, so it's a bit more durable just for every day when I'm not wanting to do a lot of makeup. And I wear this in the shade, where I'm at, Ivory. I wear the No. 7 one in the shade Cool Vanilla, so that's those two. You can see the Cool Vanilla is a tiny bit lighter, I find, but when they're on my skin I can't tell. You'll have to excuse if my makeup's a bit dirty. I've literally just done my makeup and I've not had a chance to wipe anything. So moving on from foundation, I'll then go in with a powder just to set everything. If I'm having a really good skin day, which isn't very often at the minute, I seem to be getting really bad breakouts for some reason, then I will use the number 7 one. Oh, you can see it set up there. And this just looks like this. So it's the transparent one. It's the number 7 Airbrush Away translucent finishing powder, and this is so nice and so soft, and it just makes your skin feel and look amazing. But like I said, I do need to have a good skin day, because if you've got any blemishes that haven't been concealed properly, then you'll be able to see them. That's just reminded me, I haven't shown you my concealers, which obviously I put on before my powder, so I'll just show you my other powder and then I'll show you my concealers. So if I'm not having a good skin day, I'll want to use a coloured powder just to give me that extra bit of coverage, and I'll use the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. I think everyone uses this, and this is in the shade Peach Glow. Like I said, it just gives me that extra bit of coverage and just gives a flawless finish, and I love it, and you can't go wrong. It's like $3.99. So concealer wise, I was an avid fan of the Collection 2000, I think they're just called Collection now, concealer, but recently I've discovered the number 7 Instant Radiance concealer, and for under your eyes, this is a godsend, especially if you're a mummy like me. It just instantly brightens it up. Any bags that you have, they are brightened. You can't see any purple shades, any red shades. It's so good, and I'm glad I've invested in it. For my blemishes though, I like to use a colour that's a tiny bit darker than what I would use under my eyes, and I use the Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer. This is in the shade Ivory, so I'll just use that on any blemishes I have around my face that haven't been covered up well enough with my foundation. I must admit, I don't really need to use this a lot, because yeah, I do get breakouts, but my foundation just seems to cover it well enough to not need a lot of concealer. After I've used my powder, I'll go in with a little bit of this bronzer, which is the Revolution Vivid Baked Bronzer, and I'll just use this to contour a tiny bit. I don't contour too much because I don't think it suits my face, to be honest, but this is really good. It's a tiny bit orange for my liking, but once you've blended it in, it looks brilliant. Blusher wise, I go backwards and forwards all the time, but at the minute I'm using this Estee Lauder one. It's filthy, I'm sorry, and this is in the shade Mauve Mystique. It's just this colour here. It's got a lovely shimmer to it, and it does just give you like that nice bit of a glow. Then I'll go in with a highlighter, and I don't really go overboard with highlighter. I just like to use a little bit on my cheekbones and a little bit on my eyebrow bone. Highlighter I use is again Revolution Vivid Baked highlighter. I use the Peach Lights one. I've really used this a lot, so you can just see there, so shimmery and so pretty. Then I'll do my eyebrows. I do my eyebrows every day if I'm going out. I can't go out without them done because my eyebrows actually stop like here. They're ridiculous. I'm trying to grow them back in, but it's just not happening right now. So if you've got any recommendations for things to help your eyebrows grow, please let me know in the comments. So at the minute I'm using the Body Shop 2-in-1 brow gel. So it's just the gel like that, and then you've got the little brush on top, which is tiny, but it's brilliant. It's so precise. I used to just use this on its own, but it does take me like quite a while to do my eyebrows with this. I'm not a professional, so I do take my time, because if I rush, I look stupid. But I do need something that's a bit quicker for the days where I just want to get up, get ready and get out. So I've recently discovered this by MUA, and it's called the Power Brow. It's just a little pencil on, oh, I've snapped it a little bit there. It's just a little pencil on one end, and then I'll just pop that back down. I've lost the lid for the other end, but you get the little spoolie on that end, and then you also get the powder part there, so you connect it like that all together. I don't really use the powder because it's just a bit thick, the brush, so if I am going to use powder, I'll use one of my eyeshadows instead. But I do use this to just tame my brows, and then this pencil is brilliant. It just gets in there, shades really quickly, looks really natural. Then I will sometimes go over with the gel liner just to give it a bit more of a defined look, because as you've probably noticed, I do like my eyebrows to be quite dramatic. My eyeshadow seems to switch and change every day. It just depends what kind of mood I'm in. Some days I'll go for something a bit more natural like I have today. Some days I'll like to do a smoky eye, and then some days I just won't even bother at all. So at the minute I've got in my makeup bag the Naked 3 palette. My mum got me this for Christmas. Mascara wise, I'm not really loving my mascara at the moment. I always get on with them really well when I first get them, and then I start falling out with them and they just drive me mad, and I've still not found one that I really like. My problem is that I pick my eyelashes, so if I don't take my makeup off straight away on an evening, I'll sit there and pick at them. So my eyelashes aren't that great anyway. So at the minute I've either been using Clinique's Chubby Lash. I got this in a little set when I bought some Clinique skincare, and then I got this one as well, which is the Rimmel Wonderfully Real. This is one of those with the fibres in, so you've got to be quite careful with it. It can go quite clumpy, so I'll put this on and usually using clean spoolie just to go over it and separate the lashes. So if you've got any mascara recommendations, please pop them in the comments, because I could really do with some right now. Last up is lipstick. So again, I go between a few different shades, but these three here are what I'm loving right now. This one in the middle is a classic, and I've been wearing this for so long now, and it's the Rimmel Asia, if you can see there, shade 77, and I have this on now, so I'm just going to put it on here so you can see. That's what it looks like. I don't think that's showing up very well, excuse my veiny hands. I'll do it a bit bigger for you because I'll show you the other ones I use as well. So that's that one. Then if I want something that's a bit more natural, then I use another Rimmel one, and this is the Kate Moss one, and it's shade 54, and that's called Rock and Roll Nude. So as you can see, that is just a really nice nude colour. I'll pop it on there next to that one so you can see. So it's that one there. So it's a lot more natural. Last but not least, if I want something a little bit darker and a bit more dramatic, especially on these colder days, I love it, I'll be using the NYX Soft Matte Cream. This is in the shade Rome, and this is a lot darker. And I'll just put that on the other side. So that's that one there, so it's a lot more dramatic, but it looks so nice when it's on. If you see my profile picture on here or on my Facebook, this is the colour I've got on there. So that's everything that's in my makeup bag. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, like I said, if you haven't already. I'd love you to stick around, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!